episode of Top of the Morning is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Kelly Harmon, providing you with well-researched guidance backed by Edward Jones' extensive team and technology that help you prepare for retirement, children's education, or other financial goals. Call 252-473-1006 or visit the link on the screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative. I am Abdul Ali with you this morning. Shouts out to my twin brother Raheem, architect Soto. So glad that you could join us here, and top of the morning to each and every one of you all. I see we already got folks in the comments. Shouts out to Marla. Good morning to you. As always, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, we would really appreciate you going over to our website, which is tuconservative.com, getting yourself one of those Hamilton plans. That way you can help support our mission of sharing conservative values and principles into urban communities across not just North Carolina, not just New York, but across this entire country of ours. I'm super excited about today. I'm going to be bouncing around the state. I'm looking forward to joining the Moore County Republican women for their luncheon this afternoon. They always have great food and good conversation, and I haven't been out in Moore County in a couple of months. I've been staying busy dealing with Cabarrus County, but I am again looking forward to joining those folks out in Moore County today. And then in Thursday, I will see you folks out in New Hanover and Craven and a couple of other places. So again, shouts out to all the hardworking conservatives and Republicans over there. You are checking out the best 30-minute morning show on the whole entire interwebs, and we're not even going to play games this morning. We're going to jump right in. I don't have a whole bunch of pleasantries for you because a couple of important things in the news cycle for us to get to so that you can get on your way with this Wednesday and be prepared to run around and do your thing. First thing we're going to cover about is when you look at this picture right here, okay? When you look at that guy right there, what do you see? You, like me, would see what appears to be a male human being, a full-grown male human being, might I add, comfortably carrying that weapon of his. Now, if you don't know who that is Delaware County Councilman Ryan Webb, who has sparked outrage after declaring himself a lesbian woman of color in a Facebook post made earlier this month. Now, the interesting thing about this Facebook post, ladies and gentlemen, is the left is losing their absolute mind. And the reason they're losing their absolute mind is because two can play at that game. I'm going to share this tab with you just so you can see what he posted on Facebook. And this is the interesting thing. After much consideration, I've decided to come out and finally feel comfortable announcing my true, authentic self. It is with great relief that I announce to everyone that I identify as a woman, and not just any woman, but as a woman of color as well. I guess that would make me gay/lesbian as well, since I'm attracted to women. Phew, that felt good to finally get that out there and start living my life as my true self. I'm excited to bring some diversity to the county council. Until today, we didn't have any females of color. Until today, we didn't have any females of color or LGBTQIAPC+++. Hold on. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex. I don't know what the A is. Asexual. What is the P? Pansexual. C. Cross-dresser? I don't know. Plus on the council, and I'm glad that we do now. To avoid confusion, everyone can continue to address me as Ryan or Councilman Webb. I will also retain my preferred pronouns. I will also retain my preferred pronouns of he, him. However, this will in no way diminish my true identity as a woman of color. I'm excited to be a vocal partner for the LGBTQIAPC+++ movement. Who knows just how far we can take things, but I'm glad that this is now possible. So here's the catch. Anyone can be anything or anyone they want. God bless America. And folks, that's the bottom line to this. The left wants us to believe that anybody can be anything they want at any time. Now, keep in mind that this lawmaker is being accosted. His family's getting death threats. The Indiana progressives have doxed the guy. Webb is a staunch Republican. First shared his true self on April 12th. Now, at the bottom of his initial statement, he includes some emojis with the American flag and blah, 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 blah. Now, later in an edit, he doubled down on the statement by declaring himself the first lesbian. It has come to my attention that I am more than likely the very first lesbian woman of color in the history of the Delaware County to ever serve on the county council. I'm honored to be the one to share that glass ceiling. Hashtag girl power. Now, the post has ignited a social media frenzy with hundreds of comments from angry and displeased residents and Facebook users. Now, the left is going off asking for his resignation because they don't want people playing their game. Okay. Now, I got to show y'all this. Hold on. I don't know if y'all see my screen, but that is a transgender person right there calling for this man to step down. Okay. He's calling for him to step down. Okay. Charlize Jamieson, a transgender resident, called him out for his farce. Well, who are you? Did anybody call it a farce when you, sir, decided to become a her? I thought we live in a country where you can't question people's true identity. How dare you question this man's identity? Can't you recognize his womanness? Look at how womanly he is. Can't you tell how womanly that guy is? But we're supposed to be a society that accepts people. You can't challenge who he really feels inside of himself. It's just absolutely psychotic that you have the left now saying, oh, no. He can't do that. Well, who can? Apparently, this white guy right here, because he's a transgendered person, apparently this dude fits in the club. So why doesn't the councilman fit in the club is my question. Why doesn't the county councilman fit, this county commissioner fit into the club? He now identifies as a woman of color. So he is now, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first woman of color on the Delaware County Council. Okay. Now, the transgender she's upset. He's upset. If he were serious, this is what Jamieson had to say. If he were serious, I'd sing his praises, said transgender resident Jamieson during a recent council meeting. But instead, I know better. We all do. How do you know? How do you know? I know better because of his history of making hateful anti-trans statements on social media and disrespecting one's pronouns. Students demand action of Burris Laboratory School also spoke at the meeting. 6 students approached the podium and demanded Webb's resignation, with one student saying people like Webb make the process of figuring out who one is more difficulty. Let me help you out. I'm going to help you out. When God created people, he made 2 genders, either use a boy or use a girl. Now, are there some outliers? Are there some people who are born with both genitalia? Absolutely. But that's not the rule. That's the exception. It's very simple to figure out who you are. When the doctor says, ma'am, you have had a boy, or the doctor says, ma'am, you have had a girl, that's who you are. Not too much more complicated than that. One person who weighed in was Dana Block, host of the Turn Left podcast. And this is what she had to say. I'm hoping that this individual is not making a mockery of what it means to be more in a marginalized community. Marginalized. You're marginalized because most people know that there's only boys and girls, ma'am. But I have a feeling that's exactly what's happening, she told WISH-TV. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, prime example of the left losing their ever-loving mind because somebody was smart enough to play the game, okay? And super shouts out to Oh gosh, Marla's right on point. Marla's comment is right on point. Funny how you play their game, but they don't like it. It's a mental illness. Positively, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here on Top of the Morning. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back right after this quick commercial message. Don't go nowhere. Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com. This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com.
This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative. Super shouts out to Marla Vester for jumping in with that amazing comment because she's absolutely right. We do have Raheem, the architect Soto. Are you jumping in, bro? You here with us this morning? You're on mute if you are. It appears he's here, but he's having some technical difficulties.
No, I'm here. I had to on the tail end of what you were saying. I don't
Yes.
know if you caught what I posted.
Uh-oh. What did you post? Ooh.
Just want to flash back to at the time where America was with things. You know,
Yeah, before 1973, you're suggesting that homosexuality was considered a mental illness.
I'm not suggesting that.
The
American Psychiatric Association said
Okay.
prior to that it was a mental illness.
Yikes.
I had to throw that out there as you were saying it. I'm like, yeah, these people definitely have something mental going on. But go ahead.
All right. We're going to jump off of that and on to our next thing for this morning, which to some is a wonderful thing. To others, it doesn't quite go far enough. But here in North Carolina, our legislature, and I'm going to pull this picture up because it is important that y'all see these folks. I know that lady right there to the left, Dr. Kristen Baker. I also know Vicky Sawyer right there in the middle, so shouts out to them. Both great Republican legislators up there in Raleigh. But if you are unclear, North Carolina Republicans unveiled a 12-week abortion ban after some negotiations took place. And what they're doing now, since we have a veto-proof majority in the state, it has become a critical access point. And what's happening is that people from other states are sending their folks here in North Carolina to try to get these abortions. Now, we introduced this 12-week abortion ban, a move that could significantly narrow the window on abortion, but stop short of the more restrictive bans that have been enacted in other states. The new measure was unveiled days after the proposed bans fizzled last week in 2 other conservative states, a near total ban in South Carolina, and a 6-week ban in Nebraska, with opposition coming from some Republican women and others in the party amid fears of a growing political backlash prompted by the fall of Roe v. Wade. So on yesterday, female Republican lawmakers took a leading role in introducing the legislation at a surprise press conference, which capped off months of deliberations among Republicans, many of whom had been pushing for 6 weeks. The lawmakers repeatedly claimed that the 12-week ban would be widely popular with residents, describing the proposal as a mainstream approach to the issue. Now, Senator Joyce Crawich said, "We looked at what most North Carolinians have said, and this is where most of them come down." Another rep, Sarah Stevens, the House Speaker pro tempore, referred to the bill as pro-woman. Obviously, Democrat leaders are going to dispute the idea that the proposal is popular with the public. The vast majority of abortions in the country are performed earlier than the limit North Carolina lawmakers will consider. Hold on, y'all. The vast majority of abortions in the country are performed earlier than the limit North Carolina lawmakers considered. In 2020, roughly 93% of abortions were performed at or earlier than 13 weeks of pregnancy. Now, I have a good friend who happens to be an obstetrician, and I believe life begins at conception. I'll take 12 weeks. I think we'll save some babies that way. Not as many as we would have gotten with a 6-week or, say, a total ban. But around 4 to 5 weeks is when you get a heartbeat.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I have to accept now
Mhm.
that up until 12 weeks, you can kill your baby?
That's exactly what we're saying.
So let me get this straight. Because y'all got to understand this is real, like, Twilight Zone type of stuff. I remember growing up, it was like, did you get pregnant? Come to the pregnancy center. Drop your baby off here. Give your baby away. Like, there was no option. Like, do y'all understand who? I hate to do, not to hate the Ali. Do they not understand who we are and our story? Like, we're an example that you don't have to kill your babies.
I just was in Moore County last year, bro, and I saw a young lady graduating high school with 3 children. She decided to choose life. We are an example. We're alive today because our mother, no matter how hard it was, chose life. So you're right. It's still nuts. The idea of a 12-weeker is still kind of crazy. But I think what Paul was saying, a good friend, Senator Newton, was saying, was that sometimes these things have to be done incrementally. And to an extent, I understand that. There's a certain part of me that understands
I understand the politics, Ali, but you got to admit that the concept is a bit insane.
So here's what my thing is, right? And I probably will get in trouble for saying this. Some angry person is going to troll our page and say a dual side data. But listen, this is what I'm saying. I've got to cut the music off when I'm about to say what I'm about to say. If you make the decision to lay down and engage in sexual behavior, you got to know you're running the risk of getting pregnant. You should make a decision before you decide to do that so you don't have to make the decision of killing a baby. Okay? It's called having healthy sexual habits. You don't, if you practice, let's just say you don't get pregnant until you get married. Nah, that's not realistic. But they make condoms. They make, what do you call that thing, bro? Diaphragms.
They make everything, bro. They got gels and all kinds of, man, they got stuff. Yeah. Hey, listen. Besides that, some of the decision making, like, I think it goes out the window because some of these women are having babies with guys that aren't father material, and to be frankly, some of you women aren't mother material. And what do I mean by that? If you don't select a mate based on some characteristics, right? And we can make it biblical, we can make it religious, but let's just say you want to look at the genetics of the person you with. You want to look at the family life. You want to look at the mental health. You want to look at the potential to be an earner. You want to look at all these different factors, right? Before you decide to go and lay down with somebody. Now, like you said, unfortunately, people aren't thinking that way. Sexual promiscuity is a big promotional tool now. This is like the norm. You understand what I'm saying? And I think they were trying to turn abortions into birth control. It was like, you know what? Just do all of the, canoodling you need to do. And then,
ding, 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 ding. You use the word canoodling.
Bro, I have to tell you this. I have to repeat the phrase I heard last night.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Turn the music up.
All right, I got you. Music is off.
I'm gonna quote this detective. The woman said, "This wouldn't happen if you didn't put your weenie near her hoo-ha." That's what the woman said. I'm gonna send you the video. This is what she said. I went to bed after I heard that. I was like,
Yeah, you go directly to bed after you hear weenie and hoo ha.
that's what the woman, the detective said that. He was like, yo, bro, so what I'm saying to y'all is essentially, look, we're dealing with a generation of people right now. This younger generation have been marketed and promoted. And stop me if I'm wrong. The idea that sex isn't sacred, that intercourse or being with someone isn't a something that should be respected and taken very seriously. It has been degraded, downgraded, whatever you want to call it, to the point now where it's just this senseless act. And the results of this senseless act, it's just a clump of cells. It's just a clump of
Hey, you know what it reminds me of, bro? You know, and we've said this on other shows. It reminds me of this point, and folks, y'all need to know this, okay? When people talk about, I want to be entertained in the entertainment industry, because it used to be art imitated life, and now we have life imitating art. So we just got to be careful about what we're feeding our minds, feeding our children's minds when we start talking about this entertainment stuff, because we know, bro, remember that song by Timbaland, Promiscuous Girl? When I first heard that song, my daughter was little, and I was like, yep, not listening to that one. Won't have that in the background.
Yeah,
Not doing that.
We wonder why there's so much mental health issues, so much other issues. And I know we're talking about this 12-week abortion thing, like you said, and Senator Newton said you got to start somewhere. These things are done incrementally. Unfortunately, I mean, there should only be an abortion if the life of the mother is at risk. It's the only reason you should be, for medical purposes. This is the only reason. There are too many people that want to take care of healthy, there are too many people that want to adopt a baby. There are too many people, there are too many Christian, Catholic, Muslim, whatever religion you are, services available to take care of these children. And it's just not, it doesn't make any sense. But this is where we're at. We're in the twilight zone, bro.
Well, last thing I'll say on this is, because what this bill will do, and they're saying that there are going to be some restrictions in this. The legislation would establish exceptions for rape and incest through 20 weeks, along with an exception for lethal fetal anomalies through 24 weeks. And the proposal also includes an exception for the life of the mother. So all of this idea that Republicans are basically trying to jam through this thing without care or concern for the health of women is just absolutely nuts. But we are going to keep our eye on this as it travels through the North Carolina legislature. Yes, sir.
Can I hit you with something real quick before you go to commercial?
Hit me with it before we go to commercial.
Yeah. Watch this. There's some logic for you. I just have to. I saw this last night and I couldn't help myself. I was like, yeah, I gotta play this tomorrow.
Stupid stuff a bull does.
But it can share a pen with the cows now, right?
Well, yeah, but it's not the safest, especially for the baby calves.
So after all that, still a male.
Gatebart, at the end of the day, you can polish its cow patty all you want, but it's still bull.
Oh, that's just good old common sense.
This video was recorded in front of a livestock audience.
Do you hear it?
Yep.
All right, listen to this video. This is absolutely perfect. Look.
Daryl, what's the difference between a bull and a steer?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, a bull still has its cojones. Steer ain't got none.
Does that mean it can have calves now?
Nope, still a biological male.
Does it feel like a girl cow now?
Nope, still feels like a bull.
It probably acts like a girl cow now, huh?
Nope, still does all the same stupid stuff a bull does.
But it can share a pen with the cows now, right?
Well, yeah, but it's not the safest, especially for the baby calves.
So after all that, still a male.
Gatebart, at the end of the day, you can polish its cow patty all you want, but it's still bull.
Commercial break.
Oh, that's just good old common sense.
I had to.
This video.
So, commercial break. We'll be right back. Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're back here with the twins on top of the morning, the best 30-minute morning show on the planet. Yo, to your point real quick before I cover this last story, Rod, somebody had sent me something. They were like, you notice how if a boy dog gets neutered, it's still a boy dog. It's kind of the same thing that they were alluding to there, so that makes perfect sense. But last story of the day, I don't know if and Ra, we've talked about him. You've heard me talk about this guy before. This dweeb right here, this dweeble D. Do you know who that dweeble D is right there, bro?
Kente, son, he looked like a professor of something.
That is Charlotte City Councilman Braxton Winston, Mr.
He looked like Professor Kente Cloth or something.
Yeah, he has announced his bid to become the next North Carolina Labor Commissioner. Now, bro, let's just, the audience is not going to believe me. They're not going to believe me when I say this, but I am trying to be objective about this, okay? Okay, I'm trying to be objective. And what I'm trying to do is figure out what in the hot holy hell makes this guy qualified to be the daggone labor commissioner. So I went to his website and I tried to see, is he a business owner? Has he brokered multi-million-dollar deals? Has he ever served in a position that requires executive leadership? So let's figure this out for ourselves, okay? Braxton is serving as an at-large member of the council with the goal of developing a city more equitable. I'm already out. Accessible and interconnected. The community has been blah, 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 blah. Growing up, education. He flourished academically in the New York City public school system and was enrolled in the demanding Prep 9 program. He thrived at Phillips Academy Andover, where
not possible, but okay.
Braxton thrived at Phillips Academy Andover, where he excelled in academics, arts, sports, and student government. At Davidson College, he earned a bachelor's degree in anthropology and was a two-time letterman on the football field. Can you tell me what a degree in anthropology got to do with the labor commissioner's office? Braxton is a union stagehand in GRIP and a member of our region's robust sports, television, and entertainment production community. Takes pride in being a member of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. He's also a Charlotte liaison. What does any of this have to do with your qualifications to be a labor commissioner? Braxton seeks new models of engagement for communities who have historically been left out of the Charlotte decision-making process.
What?
How? You have so many black people on the council. It's just nuts.
Stop. Braxton seeks new models of what in the dumbass jargon? New models of engagement?
Yeah,
where did you come up with this dumb ass stuff?
Well, here's the problem. You still ain't told me what makes you qualified to be the commissioner of labor for a state with the size of the economy as ours. Where notice nothing here says qualifications.
No entrepreneurialism.
None.
We ain't got a company you built, but we do have that the same thing you said about
listen. We must support North Carolina's working families by ensuring that all workers have dignity. Stop.
That's impossible. Some people wake up that day and just ain't got no dignity. They just ain't got it that day. And why does everybody need to feel dignified anyway? I'm just curious. For what? But go ahead.
I have no idea. And looking through
go
any
back
of this,
up. We must what?
Where?
Top. Dignified, and then we must. Yeah, I don't know. You went way too far down. Okay. It was at the top of the page.
Yeah, that was it. We must be working families. The labor commissioner has an important role in helping to ensure that North Carolina workers are earning their fair share of wages as determined by the law.
Stop. I think. All right. Go ahead. No.
What were you going to say?
No. Go ahead. Carry on. I'm just checking something real quick.
Okay. So what I'm looking at here, right? What I wanted to find out. Okay. The labor commissioner is a constitutional officer elected statewide by the people of North Carolina to serve a 4-year term running concurrently with the governor and all members of the council of state. The labor commissioner has a role, okay? And that role is not what Braxton Winston just described.
What is it?
The labor commissioner is charged by statute with promoting the health, safety, and general well-being of more than 4 million workers across the state. The laws and programs it administers affect every worker and virtually every person in the state. This dude has zero experience He's not a former HR rep. He hasn't done nothing. He's done nothing to make me go, he's qualified for this position at all. So we're going to keep our eyes on this campaign. We're going to not give him any other look.
I don't know why we just gave him all that free promo.
Well, because we're pointing out the fact that it's hypocrisy, and I know we have some folks on the Republican side. John Hardister, Ben Moss, and some others have jumped in the race because Josh Dobson has decided that he is not running. But again, Charlotte Democrat Braxton Winston jumped in the race. Hopefully he will not become our next labor commissioner, which is why we as Republicans have to make sure we're showing up, we're showing out, we're getting involved, we're getting engaged, and we're in the know. Again, we will be back with you all live tomorrow morning for Top of the Morning again here on the Urban Conservative. I'm getting ready to head out to Moore County so that we could go ahead and then spend some time with the Moore County Republican women. So I'm looking forward to that. And as always, if you haven't done so, jump over to tuconservative.com, support the platform. You can do that, Cash App, $TUConservative, or you can become a sponsor of the platform by visiting us on the website on your screen. For my twin brother, Raheem Architect Soto, I am Abdul Ali. You've been checking out the best 30-minute morning show on the Pliznanet. Top of the morning. Have a powerful, positive, and productive day. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning live for Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative.